So for this oil change on the F20, you will need a jack, a bucket to let the old oil go into, an 8mm X, a 36mm socket, an axle stands, oil filter, torque wrench. You'll need also a flat-headed screwdriver to take the flap of the under tray off. However, I've removed my under tray altogether because I did have a leak of some coolant, so that's been repaired now. I will put it on after this video, I think. So let's jack up the car. We need that puck, which is a special BMW puck. It fits in their plastic shaped jack points, and you just slot it into the bottom of the where the plastic fits. All BMWs have got these. They're just something different. I suppose it's just like iPhones. Then jack underneath, and basically it jacks up onto that puck so it doesn't damage the plastic. I mean, I've used blocks of wood to fit inside there to stop it damaging the plastic. When you jack it up, you can put other stuff in there. You don't have to buy one of these special rubber pucks. But as you can see, I'm jacking up the car, and we're going to fit an axle stand underneath there as well, just at the side. It was just by the, I didn't film it, but it's just underneath by the steering rack. There's a bit of the metal that sticks out that you can put an axle stand on. It's the only bit if you haven't got if you've got the under tray on. Now open the bonnet, 2 pulls of the lever, and then just lift up the bonnet. So what we need to do is undo this to let air in, because otherwise it causes the oil won't all come out. And here we need to undo this, which is a 36mm socket. So you want some old rags. The turbo will be hot, so let's just cover that so you don't get your arm caught on it. And oil will drip out. So I've got this oily rag just to put here to catch any drips, so that we don't leak oil everywhere. And then I'm not sure if I mentioned, but the engine does need to be warm. And then we're righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Okay. And we just undo this. It will release oil into the sump. We just need it loosened, just so we're letting air in, and then the oil can drain out properly. Otherwise you'll be left with oil in. The rest you can do with your hand. You just pull in this. When you feel it pop or loose, you need to just let it drain a little bit, and then turn it upside down and hold it like that. Then no oil can drip out. It just goes straight into here, and it just keeps your area clean. Just try and put that somewhere. That's it. I'm going to put some gloves on for this bit, and we've got to get under the car, as you can see. I just need to make sure you've got righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So you're pushing that way to undo it. And And then you're checking it, the sump's not too hot. I've left it half an hour, 40 minutes just to cool, but the oil will come out faster than it will be if it was cold. So the viscosity of the oil will be different because it's hot, just like. And then you just undo it until you see the oil start to come out, and then pull. And then the oil should drain out. So it should be 4.2 litres. Don't quote me on that. But basically when you refill, there is a special measuring tool in the BMWs where you don't have to use a dipstick. You just heat up the oil to the right temperature and then it can measure it for you, which is pretty good. And then we just sit and watch that drain for a little bit. We take the drain plug. Right, so on this old oily rag, on this old oily rag, we have got the oil filter and the sump plug. While it's still draining out, we find these old Amazon boxes very good for this sort of thing. So we're taking it. It might be quite hard to pull off. There we go. So that's the oil filter off. You see how dirty it is. And then we've already taken the old copper seal for the sump plug. We're going to replace that with the new one. So I'll take my gloves off so we can show you properly. And in here, the new filter, which is that. I didn't go for, I mean, you change them at 7,000 miles. I change it at a year or 7,000 miles, whichever comes first. And because it's so cheap to change, it's really not a big issue. And then in here you take the new seal for the filter and the new seal for the that fits on there lovely. Is what will happen. That will squash and create a seal so that no oil leaks. If you use, you can get away with using the old one. I've done that before, but as you can see, this is a bit more compressed than the other one. Hence replacing it. So we're going to chuck that away. So now we're going to replace this rubber ring, which for all intents and purposes is black now. I think it was black when yeah, that's the old one. Like I said, these aren't massively essential to replace these. I mean, you just do it, don't you? Because you don't want it to. But with the new one, you need to get a bit of oil. So we just need to put the oil all around this so that when it gets screwed back in, it doesn't scrunch up. So we need to make sure it's properly lubricated. And then try to put it on as evenly as you can without trying to stretch it. And that fits in Lovely like that, and just make sure you've all the way around. Make sure you get your rag. Just wipe your hands. Should have put gloves on for that, really. And then you want to put your new filter on. Doesn't matter which way it goes around. It just slots in like that. And then don't just wipe the lid up a little bit, just to, okay. And that is oil filter ready to go back in. And your sump plug ready to go back in. So we're going to put the new oil filter back we sorted out. That can just double check that that's in properly. And then you're just screwing this in by hand. Just nice and easy. Don't try and force it. Yeah. When it gets to the rubber, it will start to get a bit harder. But you need to put it on by hand as much as you can. And then you need to go opposite to the way. Nice and easy. You don't have to force it. For some reason you think it's not on right, just take it off, put it on again. There's no rush. Last thing, just put that light there so that you can see what I'm doing. So then we need to torque it up. So torque wrench, I've literally just done it by hand, and that doesn't need to be tightened up anymore with a torque wrench. It's at 25 Newton meters, and it will tell you on the lid how many Newton meters you need to do. And do your cap, ready to put your oil in. Let's go underneath the car and put the sump plug back on. So, gloves back on. You're trying to wipe all this away. You see, get your sump plug, put it, just screw it in by hand. It shouldn't be difficult. And it's tight enough. You just give it one turn. Until, because this is only 13 Newton meters. So I need another torque wrench. So that's 13 Newton meters. Make sure we've got it going the right way. There you go. And that's that torqued up. So we'll go back up to the top and fill her up with oil. So we're going to top the engine back up with oil now. We're going to put 4 litres in. Then we're going to check the level and then adjust it once we've run the engine a little bit. We're going to do it nice and easy. If you do it on the side, you don't tend to get the glog effect. And put this oil in. We're going to get down to 4 litres. And you'll know when it's 4 litres because there's a gauge just there, if you can just see it. At the minute we're at, we've got 2 litres left, so we want to put 1 more litre in. And don't worry about. So that's us down to a litre now. So we'll have to clean up the oil around there. We just need to replace the cap. We check oil filters in, dipsticks down, caps on, sump plugs in. We don't need to worry about anything else. We start the car up, we run her for a bit, and then we check the oil level once the oil's at the right temperature. There's no point in checking it now, because it won't have circulated around the oil filter or any of the other parts. Most importantly, you need to dispose of the old oil. Is an old, I just use the same one. Every time I've got an old oil container, I'll just use the same one to take my old oil to the recycle centre. And then I've got this tray in case anything spills, and then I've got my oily rag to put underneath. I do use sand in this tray, but I'll hold it. And then we're just going to pour the oil straight in, nice and easy. And then the other thing you want to look at when you are pouring this oil out is any metal shards or bits in the bottom that might settle. You can even go over it with a magnet just to see. There doesn't seem to be anything in there. But yeah, that's what an oil is. It's a cleaner, so it's keeping the engine clean as well. Let's try and get everything out of this. And I'll keep this for next time. So just let that drain out of there. And then wipe this bowl around here. The tray. So you always got a rag like that. It's really handy. So that's Bmw F20 F21 116i oil change, oil filter change, plus the rubber seal and the copper seal on the sump plug. Any questions, leave them in the comments. There will be lots more videos coming out. I've been working on cars for about 10 years now, and just from watching YouTube videos. And I thought, let's pay something back. But like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.